Rusame reader, Crow Song! And today I will be reading to you from Take 2 by Miriorite. Now, on to Chapter 33, I Love You. Huh, that's how we met. America raised his eyebrows in surprise. The Russian nodded slowly. His entire face was still tomato red. America cupped his face in his hands to force him to directly face America and look him in the eyes. What are you doing? He stuttered. The American's eyes twinkled in delight. Holy shit! You grew so much I didn't even recognize you anymore. The person in front of him overlapped with the one in his memories when he was younger. How'd you grow so much? I started eating properly and practiced hard to become an actor as great as you are. China helped me a lot to get where I am now. Then America thought hard for a while. The meals that Japan usually gives me, you made those, didn't you? Yes, I did. I thought if you received them from me, you wouldn't accept them. So I asked Japan to help. How silly of you to think I wouldn't want food made by my crush. America chuckled and released his hands. The Russian didn't let him go, and this time he grabbed the shorter male's wrists. America let out a hum. How eager you are. You were just embarrassed out of your mind a few seconds ago, and now you're doing this. What did you just say? His eyes were wide in surprise. They also twinkled with anticipation. Before America could even tease him about it, a streak of tears rolled down the taller male's cheek. The American froze in shock for a second. Did he do something wrong? I'm sorry. It's just... everyone tells me to give up on you. Since I was young until now. They said I was wasting my time for wanting you to look at me. He wiped his tears, then regained his composure. America grinned. He placed one of his hands on Russia's hand and guided it to the side of his own face. Then you're the luckiest fan to ever exist. While the taller male was stunned in place, America leaned over and kissed him. After they parted, the Russian leaned in and hugged him. Then he sighed in happiness and relief. Would you like to keep this relationship a secret from the fans? The American asked Russia as he hugged back. I don't want any more negative attention on you for now. I really don't mind if they know, though. I do. The American raised an eyebrow. Okay, fine. Is around a month fine? Yeah, that's fine. America puffed his cheeks and parted from the long hug. Seriously, though, I think you're a blessing to me, so I don't see anything bad with letting the public know. I mean, I feel the same way towards you. The Russian lowered his head. Ya тебе люблю. That is Russian for I love you. America chuckled. The Russian's eyes widened once more. He tackled the other male and pinned him down. What did you just say? His eyes shone eagerly. Good things should only be said once, he replied with a sly smile. Then the American lowered his gaze. I do feel bad for not recognizing you, even after I promised you something like that. I can't imagine how you must have felt when I reintroduced myself to you as if we'd never met. Russia raised an eyebrow, already composed rather than bashful. Are you really saying that as I'm pinning you down? This time America chuckled, and it was his turn to feel a little embarrassed as his face flushed a light red. He continued again. Everything worked out in the end, right? Isn't that what matters the most? I guess so. The American's gaze trailed over to a vase in the living room. It was positioned in the best place in the room, with adequate sunlight. A singular rose stood there inside the vase. It wasn't withering. Is that? America stared at the rose. The Russian had also turned his head to look at it. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised it hasn't wilted yet. Roses have a lifespan of 35 years as long as you care for it properly. The rose is my source of motivation when I feel like giving up. The American chuckled in delight again. It's my first time being this precious to someone. Then he continued again. Don't you want to ask where your chamomile is, or whether it's still alive or not? It doesn't matter. I'm just happy you remember about it. The Russian still pinned him, and from under him, America could see his warm smile that seemed to light up the room. He felt it was similar to the smile on that day in the orphanage all those years ago. Well, it's embarrassing to say, but I don't have good plant caring skills, so I made it into a bookmark instead. That's fine as well. I've been meaning to ask you, what did the younger you think of me back then? A sly smile appeared on his face again. Well, I don't like talking about when I was younger, but back then, at first, I thought of you as annoying, but I don't know. You were my first friend, and eventually I fell in love, that's all. The Russian sat back up properly. America also sat back up and ran a hand through his hair. How could you think of me as annoying? I'm offended, the American joked. Sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I was joking. America had the feeling he'd apologize again, so he cut in before the Russian could say anything. How about we have lunch first, and we can spend time after that? Russia nodded. Okay. A moment of silence passed. Hey, can I stay overnight here? Russia smiled warmly. Sure. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you've enjoyed it, because I really have. Anyway, that being said, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. Anyway, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will